Ayan. So we are also joined today from Galderma, a representative from Galderma, because Dr. Rooney is also an ambassador, Doc. You want to talk about Sculptra and the Restylane brand.
So there's a big brand known globally, which is Galderma. So other brands that they handle is Cetaphil, which is very, very common and known. So now they are venturing, actually matagal na, they're into dermatologic treatment and skincare. So one of the lucky ambassadors, doctor ambassadors in the Philippines is me. So I was able to explore their products. I tried and tested it. So sabi ko nga sa mga pasyente, hindi ko kayo bibigyan ng produkto na hindi ko nagamit at hindi ko na-test, na hindi ko nagamit sa pamilya ko, di ba? Siyempre gagamitin mo sa mga kapamilya mo is something that you're very sure na magiging effective siya. So from Galderma, we have Sculptra, we have Restylane Kiss and Skin Booster. So honestly, these are the best-seller non-surgical treatments in my clinic. So if you have questions regarding these products, I'm very, very happy to answer all of your questions.
Alright, so doon na tayo sa no holds barred.
Gusto ko Q&A agad.
Gusto niya yun. At hindi
Gusto ko
talaga
yung
ni Doc.
nagchichikahan lang
You can
tayo.
ask everything. Personal, in their aesthetic world, their profession, and everything. Oo. Kaya-kaya ni Doktora. Sino ang ating first question?
Rain daw.
Okay, Rain. Sorry, Rain. Baka kaya ko na dyan, Rain. Yung mic natin kasi diwards.
Kayo. Hey, Doctor. I read kasi sa somewhere.
Rain check.
Yeah, rain.
Rain check.
yung
Hi,
ako,
Rain.
check lang. I read somewhere kasi na bago nyo ginagawa yung mga procedures, meron kayong parang assessment na ginagawa na if they are, emotionally or mentally ready for the procedure. Ano po ba yung, can you enlighten us? Ano yung assessment na ginagawa nyo?
Okay, ideally kasi when a doctor sees a patient, like kayo, one way or another, nagkaroon na kayo ng consultation from a doctor before. So dapat yung una, you do physical examination, history taking, and then you give out your plan. So ito yung tamang process. But nowadays, because of the advent of social media, parang nawawala na yun. So parang gusto na lang nila dun tayo agad sa before and after without really asking the background, the medical condition, the history of the patient. So ako, I try to apply pa din the conventional ways of knowing your patient, knowing their history, because yun yung proper. So kailangan kilalanin mo muna yung patient, i-examine mo, hahawakan mo yung ilong, kailangan mo i-assess what's really needed, and then that's the time you give up your plan. So tingin ko, na-appreciate yun ng patient because social media sometimes it gives us the filtered look. Pero in reality, ang question is, achievable ba yung mga results na gusto makita ng patient or makatotohanan ba siya in short. So we really need to focus on knowing the patient, knowing what they want, and giving them the proper treatment plan for them. So I try to stick with the conventional, but syempre apply the modern ways of checking and knowing the patients.
Meron po ba kayong mga instances o mga patient na sabi nila na gusto nila ganito yung gusto nilang mangyari sa kanila, and then kayo ay parang hindi pwede ba? So in-explain sa kanila na hindi pwede.
Yeah, so marami na ako na broken-hearted din na patient because in reality, dun tayo sa totoo lang, no? So for example, you show me this specific look, I will tell you if it's achievable or this is if this is achievable and if kaya ba siyang ma-achieve or does it fit your personality or your anatomy per se. So marami na akong mga na turn down, marami na din akong mga na educate. It's more of educating them na these are the things that we can achieve with your nose or your skin and with your what are your aims, and then binabangga ko lang dun sa realidad na resulta, realistic expectations.
Last question for me, Doktora. Bakit po nose? I mean, di ba palaging pag sinabing like gusto kang baguhin sa'yo, sa sarili mo, yung nose yung parang palaging na pinapag-isipan na una. Ano po bang meron sa nose na bakit yun ang palaging nababago?
So, brief background about me. I took a bit of a course sa interior designing. So doon, isa sa di ko makakalimutan na course namin is, part ng course namin is understanding ang focal point ng isang room. Like when you go inside the room, you check ano yung pinaka-highlight. So in the face, there's also a focal point, which is your nose. So nose pa lang yung baguhin mo or ayusin mo, parang madali na yung iba. Or parang ang laki na agad na igaganda. You agree? I can see nods of head. So, ibig sabihin, yun lang yung i-enhance mo, parang everything else medyo mas madali na. And para kasing hina-highlight niya the rest of the features of the face. So, sabi ng mga patient, Dok, nagpareno lang ako, pero sabi ng mga tao, parang gumanda yung mata ko, gumanda yung cheeks ko, gumanda yung smile ko, kasi nga siya yung focal point, siya yung sentro ng face. So, a little enhancement or if you improve on your nose, malaki na yung difference. So, also, I became a rhinoplasty patient myself. So, I have my rhinoplasty done. So, di ba, ang ganda ng ilong ko? Yan. So, I can totally relate to my patients kasi nga I've been a patient myself. So, I can share to them my journey and glow-up journey as well.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Darlene. Yes,
Stanley Breeze.
Good afternoon, Doc. You built your own clinic. What was the journey like for you, and what role did your patients play in that decision?
So building my clinic is quite difficult because I started during the pandemic. My training was during the pandemic. So parang alam mo yun, magpapa-opera ba yung mga tao? Iunahin ba nila yung kanilang pagpapaganda versus dun sa what's really needed or what's more of a necessity. So also I didn't have a business background kasi I was trained to be a doctor, more of the medical field, ganyan. So medyo mahirap for me when I was starting, but luckily here I am, medyo na-surpass naman natin yung mga struggles na yun. So actually yung building my own clinic is actually parang my patient requested for it because before I just do parang partnering with other clinic. Pero sabi ng mga patient doc, parang why don't you build your own? Para meron ka ng sarili. And honestly, medyo takot ako nun. Kasi nga sabi ko, do I know how to handle a business? Kaya ko ba magpalakad ng mga tao? Or kaya ko ba aralin tong system na to? Kasi it's something that is not innate to me. Pero yan, I learn as I go along. So still learning as a business person and a doctor.
My second question, Doc, is in your experience, how does improving one's appearance affect a person's confidence?
So it's a lot, no? So nowadays, if you look good, it's actually I call it a social advantage. No? So for example, I compare it in the landscape. Diba? Kunwari, pagpunta ka ng Switzerland, maganda kasi. So pupuntahan mo siya. So same thing with your natural physique. So naturally, innate for us mga tao, you are attracted to something that is pretty or beautiful. So ganun din, when you enhance yourself and you beautify your look or enhance your look, naturally mas drawn kayo yung mga tao. So na-attract sila, na-influence mo sila. And most of the time, syempre ang goal natin is to influence in a good manner. Yung para maka-attract ka ng tao in a positive way. So after that positivity, na nakikita nila sa itsura mo, I think everything else will follow. Your success, your relationship, your aura, your influence over other things. So very, very important nowadays na you enhance yourself, especially it's a social advantage in the era of social media.
Alright, one last. For someone considering na magpapaayos ng ilong, what's the most important thing that they should remember and how can they make sure they're doing it at the right result?
It all boils down to getting to know yourself. Kailangan, klaro yung alam mo. Like, kunwari, Doc, gusto ko ng ilong ni Anne Hathaway. Or, Doc, gusto ko ng ilong ni Liza Soberano. So, I tell my patient, you tell me your peg. We call it a speg. No? So, sabihin mo sa akin yung gusto mo. And doon ko ibabangga with the realistic expectations. So, I need to manage their expectations. So, I need to know my patients first before I'm able to do or execute yung gusto nila for their noses or for their skin or body in general.
Follow-up. Have you had a chance to say no to a client?
Yes, a lot. No, so parang related siya sa question ni Rain kanina. A lot because, you know, as doctors, we have this freedom to choose our patients as well. And if I tell my patients that if I see some kind of a red flag, kailangan din we know how, it's very important for us doctors, especially in the aesthetic medicine, is you learn when to say no to a patient. Hindi lahat tatanggapin mo. So, kailangan you know when to say no.
Thank you, Stanley. Sino ang next natin? Di ba, siya yung doctor na like the others that despite their, in spite their expertise, they'll do everything. For her, there's always that boundary of checking kung okay. Lionheart. Yes, now.
I prepared some questions po. So, first question ko po, how do you balance using social media for education while avoiding misinformation or unrealistic expectation? Kumbaga, ano rin po yung mga common misconceptions about procedures like rhinoplasty, botox, or fillers na na-encounter nyo online?
Naku, alam mo ako kasi gusto ko nang nangungontra ako. Yung sasabihin ko sa iyo, yung mga things na dapat mong malaman. But syempre in a respectful manner. So, I lay out yung mga tanong or questions nila. I ask yung mga questions nila. So, I answer step by step, one by one, even if it takes a little longer than the usual consultation time. Gusto ko yun na parang makaklaro ko yung mga mali. Kasi, sorry, makatinggal mo nila. So in that sense, we'll be both educated. Also, we'll be able to manage your expectation. Like for example, they say that Botox is just for the old ones. Or pag mo na yung mga 50s ka na, 60s ka na. But you know, mag-educate ako ngayon that Botox is actually preventive. So if you do it early on, you'll prevent yung mga early signs of aging. So kunwari, meron na tayong wrinkles at 50s, ganyan. When you supposedly you had your Botox during your 30s, wala kang wrinkles in your 50s. But sabi kasi nila, Dok, pag may Botox, parang hindi nagagalaw yung mukha ko. Parang ganun, di ba? Yun yung common misconception. But actually, it depends on your injector. Kung sino yung gumagawa. Ako personally, I had Botox. The other, So there's a lot of facial expression naman sa mukha ko and I can still move. So, yeah, it depends on your injector. At saka iba na kasi yung treatment natin with aesthetic procedures nowadays as to compared before.
And also po, ako rin po kasi personally, parang kinoconsider ko rin po yung first procedure ko. Actually, nakantuhan nga namin kanina, parang next year ganyan. So, what advice would you give to someone considering their first procedure po?
So you have to decide if you want to have a non-surgical or surgical procedure. So parang broad classification. Halimbawa sa iyo, ano bang gusto mong i-enhance sa'yo? Yun ang una kong tanong. So like, ikaw yung gawin natin pasyente ngayon. So, you know, these terms are actually coined by specific doctors, but actually it exists. Yun lang naman, nilagyan lang nila ng pangalan para may sense of identification. So I know the doctor who coined that term, pero usual lang naman siyang ginagawa. So for example, you want to achieve a diamond tip. So I already knew you want a surgical one. So decided ka na kung anong gusto mo. So from there on, I explored. So I cannot really tell the patients kung ano yung first step nila. But the thing is, you need to know what do you want. So, iba-iba kasi tayo ng mga gusto. Mayroong patients na, Dok, ayoko talagang mahalata ng asawa ko na nagpa-procedure ako. Meron mga ganon. The extreme ones, sabihin, Dok, pupunta may printed na picture. Sabihin, Dok, gusto ko yung ganito, yung mukhang AI. No? So, it depends. So, you have to tell me what you want and then I will lay out my plans for you.
And last question na lang po. Paano niyo po ini-ensure yung mga patients natin na hopefully understand nila yung risk na hindi lang yung results?
Okay, good questions. Because yung social media kasi, for example, I'm an educator, I'm a teacher, and also a social media. I'm very active in social media. But you know, social media, they won't tell you or show you the risk. Di ba parang you're just showing them just a side of the story. Pero may risk yan. So ako, yun yung kinibahan ko. I will explore, mention to you, educate to you the risk and possible complications of doing your surgical and non-surgical. Kasi hindi naman yan lang maganda. Meron din yung possibility na hindi maging maganda. So if you agree on, magsabi ka na, okay, we proceed, Doc. You can send that for it, then we proceed.
Thank you,
Thank you, Lau. Si RM Marcelo, Barbilicious.com.
Sorry, Barbie
Mario Barbilicious.
Barbie yan.
Yeah, ako kasi consider mo talaga. Kumbaga, when I was gusto ko na talaga magpa-rhino. So, pero kayo po, you said po na kaka-open na po ng hinig ninyo ng pandemic. Ano po yung masabi yung edge po ninyo? Kasi we all know ako sumala sa mga page ng mga rhino, ng mga rhino.
Sorry,
Yung mga-
nakita mo ba ako doon?
Kumbaga, yung mga may mga old na talaga na nag-rhino po. Pero what will be yung edge po niyo, Doc, po, doon sa mga nauna pong mga nagpo-procedure, mga cosmetic surgeon?
Alam mo, tanong ko din yan sa sarili ko. Kasi di ba kanina I mentioned, bakit naman, I started my business during the pandemic. And sabi ko, kung ako pasyente, bakit ako pupuntahan? Anong advantage ko over big names? And why should I consider this girl? Parang arte-arte niya lang, di ba? So, the thing is, I'm a female surgeon. And I have this eye for, I'm not saying that yung mga male surgeon walang eye, but I have this artistic aesthetic side. Not only with my business, kanina I mentioned, di ba, I did interior designing for some time kasi gusto ko talaga yung mga my beauty, my art. I really dwell into those kind of things. So my advantage, I think, is that I'm a female surgeon with an aesthetic sense. I go for the natural looking results. So the results that I'll be giving to you or doing to you is very natural, almost undetectable, but enhanced. Okay, so hindi siya halata, pero maganda siya. Also, I try to shy away from trends. Like kunwari Barbie nose or something like what's in now. Because something trendy, it does not last long. So kung gusto natin ng longevity, if you want to achieve a very, very classic nose or look that will last, so go with me. Also, I think my techniques are actually a combination of those you mentioned na parang the ones established in the industry. So actually, they were my mentors. So, syempre ako, as a student before, matututo din ako dun sa mga galing sa sanay na. So actually, we are in a big community. So magkakakilala lang kami. I'm not telling na mas magaling ako, but the way I tell it to my patient is that I will take care of you.
Second question po, how would you react po kapag yung mga nose na, yung parang yung tawag natin na
Botch. So, sabi ko nga, kunwari, galing man sa akin or galing sa ibang doktor, I tell my patients, walang surgeon na intended na sirain yung ilong mo or not only with the nose, but walang surgeon or doctor na gustong sirain yung mukha mo. Eh, pero, pag sinabi din ng pasyente na ito, Doc, wala siyang complication, mean kasi wala din siyang patients. Okay? So you cannot be a surgeon without having any complication. So it's part of learning. So I tell my patient, you're gonna take a look on the amount or gaano karami yung naging watch niya. So kung out of the 100, 17 nagawa niya, maybe there's something wrong. But if out of the 100, just 5 or less than 10, I think good rate pa din yun or good census pa din yun. So if I see patients with a botch nose or botch surgery, which is in reality yung talaga yung nakikita ko, I try to educate them na it takes two to tango. Pwedeng ikaw yung nagkamali or pwedeng nag-drugs ka. O may ganun ng patient or nag-cocaine siya, sorry. After the procedure, of course, magkakaroon siya ng problem. You cannot really blame it on the doctor. So these things I try to discuss in my page or in my social media accounts because I always tell my patient it takes two to tango. So if you're gonna do what you need to do during the healing process, you take care of yourself, I'm sure na magiging maganda din yung healing mo. And of course, syempre yung surgeon, dapat gagalingan niya din yung procedure.
Last po, pwede pong i-divulge yung from silicone to vertex. Range po ng price po na offer.
Oh, ako, honestly, I don't use silicone because for me, it comes with a lot of complications. Sorry for using this term, pero parang for me, it's an ancient na implant. Nowadays, there are many more commercially available, which is the Gore-Tex. So in my clinic, actually, we do not really recommend silicone. So I'm more of using Gore-Tex. So usually, ang price range namin mga nasa 100 plus 1,000. Because I do it under sedation.
Baka ba na lang po. If
Yes.
pwede po kayo magpunta. Congratulations po na influencers or showbiz personalities
So,
na hawakan niyo.
meron naman, you can see it on my social media accounts. Yung mostly there are beauty influencers and lifestyle influencers. So, I'm not gonna name names. Meron din mga news anchor actually. So, but you'll see them in my account.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbilation. Barbie ba? Barbilation?
Next natin.
Barbie knows.
Barbie.
Barbie knows.
Naku, pasensya ka na. I'm not the right one for you.
Si Miss Laila, Experience Travel Magazine.
Hi, hello.
Yeah, she just had a shoot.
You're known as a nose fairy.
Mhm.
When did you realize that it is not just a title but a purpose to the logo?
Actually, until now, hindi ko pa rin siya alam. Parang kasi ako, I try to live by as, kung paano lang ako, I want to live simply without all the glitz and glamour. So, even if you do not give me a title of the nose fairy, I still will do rhinoplasty. Parang ganun. Without the social media, I'll still be doing this. So, ako lang kasi I like changing lives ng mga tao. Ako yung ganito. Ako yung friend mo na, kunwari di maganda yung kilay mo, aayusin ko. Kasi kahit ayusin natin yung kilay mo. I like that. Pakilamera talaga ako. So, I think yung mga patients na na-appreciate nila yun, parang halika, parang hindi maganda yung suot mo ngayon, ayusin natin. So, siguro lang, mas na-line ako sa rhinoplasty because there are so many, sabi nga ni Barbie, there are so many watch case ng noses ngayon. So, as an ENT, yung advantage ko is I do not beautify alone the noses. Yung mga alone, hindi ko lang siya pinapatangos, pero inaayos ko muna siya. So, it's actually form and function. So, that functional ka, nakakahinga ka. Hindi problematic yung ilong mo. If you have like pathologic cases, like allergic rhinitis, I will address it first, and then we do the pagpapagaling ng form. So, it's always form and function.
How about this one? Kasi I'm just wondering what are these products?
The Sculptra.
Good question.
Restylane.
Okay, baka magalit sa atin ng Galderma. Okay, so Galderma has been my partner since I started. So, introduce ko lang very briefly. So, Sculptra, it's the number 1 PLLA. So, when we say PLLA, it's your collagen. So, as we age kasi, by 20, tayo ay nagkakaroon na ng 1% decrease of collagen. So, ganun yun. Bata ka pa lang bumababa na siya. And yung Sculptra, it will replace your collagen. So, Sculptra is the number 1 collagen stimulator available in the market. So, for example, you want to look younger but you don't want to have a facelift or a surgical procedure, this is what I recommend. So, very, very in demand, especially here and abroad. So, this is also one of my bestsellers that you know. If you're gonna travel abroad, so you're from a travel magazine, siguro, for example, sa Korea, makikita mo doon parang they inject a lot, di ba? Parang sa isang visit mo, sa isang clinic, they're gonna do 10 procedures. So, sikat na sikat ngayon sa Korea yung mga skin boosters. So, ang mantra is kasi, the way we do it now is, yung mga skincare mo, instead of you're applying it topically, instead na pinapahid mo siya, inject mo na lang siya. Okay? So, ayun yung sinasabi ko sa mga patients. So, when you do or use your skin boosters, so it's like applying or injecting your skincare under your skin. So, it will last longer. And yung effect, kasi mas deeper siya, mas maganda yung effect na. So, also one of my bestseller in the team. Okay? And then lastly, yung Restylane Kiss. So, from the word itself, it's kissing, okay? So, it's the colors for your lips. So, Restylane actually pioneered the invention of fillers. So, siya yung naka-invento ng fillers. So, dun pa lang alam mo na it's a good brand. So, Restylane Kiss is specifically a filler for the lips. So, ang advantage na over the other is that it will hydrate and make your lips look plumper, mas volumized, pero not overly done. So, again, if you follow my social media account, I'm not really into like the overfilled look. Alam niyo yun? So, yeah, meron akong ka-patient before na news anchor. Sabi niya, Doc, sa ibang clinic, yung mga patients, parang magkakamukha. I know, alam niyo yan kasi you're more of the, mas marami kayong nakaka-interact ng mga celebrities than me. Pero, Doc, magkakamukha talaga, like, parehas daw yung mga lips nila, ang kakapal, or magkakamukha talaga sila. So, I tell my patients I'm not like that. Okay, so, I will tell you pag if it's too much because my mantra is I want to go for a natural looking look. It's always undetectable. Parang mayroong bago sa'yo pero hindi ko masabi kung ano. Okay, so I think these products will give it to you. I'm not sugarcoating or everything. This is what I really tell my patients. So it's very easy for me to discuss this because this is what I do.
Thank you, Zyla. And behind the brand, Doc, right, the Sculptra and Restylane is Galderma, which is you're familiar with, di ba? You're attending some of their events, but it's another brand. So, under Galderma. So, Mr. Edwin, or where is
Hi,
Edwin?
Doc. Good afternoon po.
Hi, sir.
Doc, first question is, have you ever felt a patient was trying to become someone else instead of improving themselves? And what was the most surprising reason that someone came to you for surgery?
Okay, so there's so many cases like that na parang in the process of enhancement, they are losing their identity. So I tell my patients, I don't want to erase your identity, regardless kung ano yung pinanggagalingan mong emotional burden or emotional reason affiliated with it. But I just want to address it, enhance lang, laging enhancement, not to change the look. Because wala talagang carbon copy, kahit nga mga twins hindi sila totally 100% identical, diba? So, I just want to debunk the ideas that if I'm gonna show this picture of Jenny, for example, magagaya ba natin yung look na to? So, it's not right. I think it's not rightful to have something like that. Pero, siguro we can do something that is like near it but not totally identical. So, hindi talaga ako para sa ganun. No? So, if you're not gonna agree with me, you're free to go to other doctor who's willing to do that. Pero ako, I limit my patients. Sorry, forgot your next question. Yung
The
second
most
question.
surprising reason that someone came to you for surgery?
Siguro hindi most surprising, but parang something that stood out. Before, I have this 65-year-old female patient, primary rhino. So sabi ko, bakit ngayon lang? Kasi tinatanong ko yan, parang bakit hindi ng mga 40s ka? Bakit ngayon na 65 ka na? So, ang sabi niya kasi, namatayan siya ng anak. And plan ng anak niya mag-rhino sa akin. So, instead na yung anak niya, siya na lang.
Naiiyak tuloy ako.
Another question po.
Yes, sir.
Is there a part of the face na you would never touch or never change? No matter how the patient asks. Meron ba talagang dapat?
Siguro wala. Because I'm an ENT. So, before I did the pagpapaganda, maraming muna akong nakitang sira. Like literally, I came and trained in East Avenue Medical Center, which is very, very nearby. East Avenue Medical Center is a referral hospital for vehicular accidents. So, siya yung mga dinadala ng mga sobrang bali-bali mga mukha, ganyan. So, mga na-aksidente. So, I've seen a lot of traumatic cases. That's why I don't ride the motorcycle. Never! Simula na nakita ko ng maraming mga sabi ko, kahit maliit na ako, hindi ako magmamotor. Sorry. LTFRB. Sorry. Pero, kasi nga, I've seen a lot of, kumbaga, mga nasirang mukha because of the accident. So, I know how to fix them. Because I'm an ENT. Yun ang pinaka-baseline ko. I'm an ENT, so I've seen a lot of, kumbaga, distorted faces from vehicular accidents. So, parang na-touch ko na siya lahat. So, tsaka, it's just that I know when to say no and I know the specific areas na hindi ko, na pag-iingatan ko. Like, there is a specific dangerous triangle of the face, like this one. This is the dangerous triangle of the face. It's best not to inject on those areas because I think narinig niyo na to, yung mga nabubulag, because nagpa-filler. So, tingin ko kasi baka hindi ENT yung nag-inject. So, sometimes less is more. Diba? Hindi pala sometimes, it's usually the case. Less is more.
Last question po. You mentioned kanina 65 years old. Is there ano ba yung pinaka-early age na pwedeng gawin procedure and ano yung latest na age na parang sayang lang?
Sayang lang. Huwag na sayang. The earliest that we can do rhinoplasty is for the males, it's 16 to 17 years old. Kasi that's the full maturation age for the nose. So females, it's 17 to 18. So Like ngayon, ang uso, instead of having a debut or a party when you turn 18, it's more of, sabi ni ma'am, parang i-regalo na lang niya sa anak niya. Pero ganun talaga. So, instead of having parties the traditional way, they're just gonna do or have their rhinoplasty.
And latest yung pinaka ano parang Oldest
Ako, oldest is 71.
71.
Pero pathologic yun. Kasi nga, parang meron pang pag-asa pa. Kaya sabi ko, wag naman sayang. Pero syempre, di ba, you choose na lang. Siya kasi nagsasala na yung butas ng nose niya. She had rhinoplasty before, like mga 40 years. So sabi ko nga, mami, kota na yung nose mo. So nasulit mo na yan for 40 years. Pero hindi ako makahinga. So, yung mga cases na gano'n, it's really warranted. So, I need to do revision rhino. Pero for example, it's a virgin nose. Sabihin ko, wag na mami, okay na yan. Parang sulit ka na dyan. Yun ang hindi na sayang.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Jeff Idol Bueno,
Yes.
Comag Calda.
Hi, Doc. I don't know how to ask some of the questions that I want to ask. But since you're more on rhinoplasty and known for it pretty much, I know you've gone and done some of the cases that have been pretty hard. You mentioned some botched cases earlier. Now, those are also work of other doctors. Do you get in conflict with some of them because of the bad job they did?
Wala pa naman. So, I haven't encountered something like that. But if I see you, for example, first thing I do is, or first thing I ask is, have you been or have you reconnected,
With the
rekindled with your doctor? So, I ask them to go back to their doctor. Kasi, actually, it's very, very hard to do revision, especially if wala silang OO record. I don't know their history or what was placed inside their nose. Sometimes kasi I've been seeing a lot of cases like this na silicone yung nose nila pero vortex yung nakita or other way around. So they do not really know what's inside their nose. And hindi na sila nag-get in touch with their other doctor. I haven't had a conflict with other doctors, but first thing I do when I see a revision case is I ask the patient to go back to their previous doctor. And if after consulting with them again, hindi sila nag-ayos or they don't trust the doctor anymore, then they come see me, that's okay.
One of the things that I watched earlier, it was pretty inspiring to see that the people that you work with in your clinics are your actual sisters.
Yeah.
How does that come into play, and how do you feel that that is actually happening in your case? And parang unlucky ng yung position mo than other people who do not have family who would be able to do that.
Okay, so for me, working with my sisters is very easy kasi nga technically I'm their second mom. Mas strict ako kaysa sa mama ko. So parang mama talaga nila ako. So also our goal is to be more into business so that we'll have the freedom of time. Like we want to go out or we want to meet our parents abroad. So that's our goal. Also, working with my sisters, I know their personality or I know their strengths and weaknesses. So I'll be able to align and allot a specific task for them.
Okay. And are they okay with it?
Yes.
Or they have no choice?
This is
Involved
here.
marketing.
Okay, ito kasi yan. Ako siguro, I know how to read a person or I know how to read people, like the way they act. So, tingin ko, as a doctor, we were trained to read people based on their movement, the psychology of it. So, in my growing up, ganun din yung ginawa ko sa mga kapatid ko. Kasi, just to give you a brief background, my father is mostly based abroad. I'm 35, 25 years. I think nasa abroad siya. So, I was the partner of my mom raising my siblings, parang ganun. So, growing up, parang I know to be a leader already inside the house and inside the school. So, tingin ko, managing people in my business is easy because I know how to organize something like that and to read people based on their skills, based on their strengths and weaknesses.
And did your did your dad actually work in the US or?
He worked in Asian countries like Singapore. Longest na stay niya is in Singapore.
Oh, okay. And she's a computer engineer.
Computer engineer.
I'm also a computer engineer, but
Okay.
I'm doing this. The reason I ask is how was he been able to do the parenting job as far as you are concerned? Because of course, I mean, you don't go in a situation where you're already a renowned leader because you didn't have anybody to look up to. Was he somebody that also gave something in return?
Okay, this is what I believe in. There's always a learning curve, even in parenting. So, during the time na ako pa lang yung anak, sobra siyang strict. So, parang all the strictness, ganyan, sa akin yun na-apply. So, when he left, like around 4 or 5, yung pagiging strict na yun, na-apply ko sa mga kapatid ko. So, the way I parented my sisters is actually the way he parented me. So, something like that. So, when he left to work abroad, it's a reflection. Parang dyan din si Papa, pero ako na yun, in my persona. So, it's a little bit difficult. Actually, during that time, I do not find it difficult. Parang it's a realization now that I have my own child, I have my own son. Ito pala yung ginagawa ko when I was young. Niloloko ko nga yung bunso namin eh. Kunwari binibinsan niya ako. Yesterday we had a shoot. So, just an anecdote of me. Sabi ko sa kanya, binibihisan niya ako. Sabi ko, bihisan mo ka lang maayos ha. Marami akong beses nagbihis sa'yo nung bata ka. So, ito talaga yung sinabi ko sa kanya. Sabi ko, daming beses na sinutan kita ng diaper. Kasi, I have long nails yesterday. So, sabi ko, hindi ako makapag-squatan, something like that. So, pero those specific stories growing up, I think it strengthened us. Kaya I know how to handle my sisters and the respect comes with it. No? So, hindi ko sasabihin na wala kaming away. Marami kaming away. Yun din yung usapan namin dapat. Ano ba mga pinag-awayan namin dati? Pero it's not really a big fight. So, siguro kasi, sabi ko nga, growing up, I don't need too much friends. We rarely go out. Kasi inside our home pa lang, parang sulit na, marami na akong kalero. So, that's the beauty of having a big family. Pero, ako kasi isa pala ng anak ko, kaya naawa ko sa kanya. So, ikaw na, uwi na tayo kasi gagawa pa akong baby. Hindi, kidding aside. So, that's the story.
Alright. Siguro, what would your advice be to people of that age? Like, a younger person who's still trying to find their way in to what they plan to have as a career, what would your advice be to that?
I think I will speak based on my experience. I'm actually a very risk-taker person. Nakita niyo ba yung Dubai jump ko? So, parang I like challenges talaga. So, for me, if an opportunity knocks, I will grab it. But syempre, it has to be a calculated risk. Huwag naman yung sobrang delikado. You have to weigh and explore the opportunities given to you. It may break or make, pero that's part of the exploration process of your journey. So if I will see a if I will see a person about my age, still not knowing where to go, siguro I will just tell them that be strong and be a risk taker.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, JM. Jean Javier. Maybe Jean.
Good afternoon, Doctor. Really knows me really. Kasi kanina we watched si Samsung one of your models. Right? Kasi it's very challenging to accept cases like that. Na yung model device ka na yung So, how challenging and do you really accept those cases like that? And paano yung success rate? Thank you. Thank you,
Jean.
So, when I was starting, ang sabi ng mentor ko, huwag kayong gagawa ng mga revision cases because this will be the basis of your confidence in doing surgery. Kasi una mo yan eh. Pag gumawa ka ng revision tapos pangit, parang magiging baseline mo kung tutuloy mo pa ba yung pag-opera or hindi. Because there are so many surgeons studying under me, but only few flourished or parang continued with doing rhinoplasty specifically. So sabi niya, wag daw gagawa ng revision. Gusto ko nga ng challenges. So I did the opposite. Okay, so I did mostly revision. So like specifically si Katina Samson, talagang kinukulit niya ako, parang all of my social media accounts, even my personal accounts, minamessage na Doc, operahan mo na ako, ganyan. Because a friend with the same case had the same case, I revised and it went well. So, kinukulit niya na talaga ako. So, doing revision, revision cases are actually very, very difficult. Minsan, pag open ko ng nose, iniisip ko, sinasabi ko sa staff ko, ba't ko ba ito ginagawa? Bakit ko pinapahirapan ang sarili ko? So, literally, mahirap siya. Pero siguro nga kasi, my thinking is, except for the challenges that I face during this kind of procedure, is that if I'm not gonna do this procedure, who else? Okay? If I'm just, I came from mentors, or the ones who mentored me is that mga big names in the industry, like big names. So you see them in the market, no? And they are more of are concerned in taking care of their name rather than, syempre gusto na nilang mapaganda yung mga patients, pero kapag sobrang feeling nilang hirap and pangit yung success rate or hindi masyadong mataas yung success rate, they will not do it. Okay? In my case, sabi ko, kung hindi ko sila gagawin, sinong gagawa? So, in that sense, I entail my knowledge as an ENT and I apply my aesthetic eye then. So, the success rate is really, really good. So, doon nag-branch out yung term na nose fairy because from the botch or revision cases, which mostly I do during the start of my practice, mas naging okay or maganda yung mga results ng patients. So, when I encountered primary cases, sobrang madali na siya for me. Kasi, ito rin, yung personality ko, okay na lang mahirapan ako. Kasi, para pag nakakita ko ng madali, sobrang dali na siya for me. So, that's the kind of person I am. In life and even in surgeries.
Thank you, Ms. Jean.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. From Lemon Green Tea.
Yes, good afternoon. Doc, non-surgical and surgical, do you happen to encounter like diabetic patient? Or do you accept diabetic patient?
Yes, huwag natin silang pagkaitan ng opportunity na maging maganda at gumanda. Okay, so, kidding aside, sabi ko nga kanina, we have to do it properly, no? So, we have to get the laboratories, and the history, if you're taking supplements or medications for it, lalo na in the advent of GLP-1 peptides, yung mga slimming injectables. So, I see a lot of patients who are diabetic, but the thing is, it has to be controlled and you have to be taking your medication. So, screening pa din, screening for the mga patients. And hopefully, sana yung mga patients nagsasabi talaga ng totoo para wala tayong problem in terms of healing and process of recovery.
Judy?
Diabetes ka, ma'am? Tasa kami ng mga diabetes.
FPJ, manualtolife.com.
Hi, Dr. First, I just like to ask, ano yung pinaka-challenging, could you describe the most challenging procedure na nagawa mo sa isang patient?
Challenging.
Yeah.
Siguro yung 8 times na siyang na-surgery. And he has been to a lot of places, like literally in Mexico, nag-US na siya. Parang sabi ko, naging ka na worldwide. Pero they cannot fix his nose. So, actually, tingin ko kasi, nasabi naman na sa kanya yung mga plans for him. But it's just that he was not convinced. So, ako natutuwa ko sa ganun. Parang ako nag-ubi, ako yung winner. Kasi na-convince ko siya to do what is the optimum. Which is, in terms of rhinoplasty, it's doing rhinoplasty. So, I think, sabi ko nga, na-mention na yun sa'yo, hindi ka lang na-convince or hindi lang ikaw na properly educate. Sabi niya nga, Doc, kung dito pala ako nagpunta, he's a Filipino. So, kung sa Pilipinas na pala ako nagpagawa directly at sa'yo ako nagpunta, di sana hindi ko na-tour ang buong mundo just to get my nose done.
And on the business side, could you also tell us about your branches and ano ba yung mga targets mo for this year or ano ba yung mga open din in the future?
So I have 2 branches aside from my main clinic. which is in Quezon City, dyan lang, konting tumbling lang tayo. Baka gusto nyo doon na tayo after. So I have one in Angeles, Pampanga, and another one in Santo Tomas, Batangas, which is my hometown. So, yung sa Batangas namin, I ran it with my sister, and then in the one in Pampanga, I ran it with my friend, business partner ko siya. So, I strategically placed my clinics on the north, in the north and in the south, para cover all. Okay, pero as of now, initially at the start of the year, before this recession, I want to build another branch, like somewhere Cebu or Davao, also prime location, but I'm still checking the waters, no? Kasi I'm not sure if it's a good idea now to open up a business, but we'll cross the bridge when we get there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, FPJ.
Napaka-Barbie sa second.
Stanley, may dagdag na to.
Doc, may pabula kami isa.
Please,
I'm just curious about the downtime. How long is the downtime after the procedure, and ano yung usual na binibigay mong advice sa mga patients?
So, tanong ko muna, sino na dito ang nakapagpa-opera? Ako na magtatanong sa inyo, kanina pa ako tinatanong. Kahit anong procedure, CS, pagbubuntis. So, CS. So, sa CS, how many days before they remove the sutures? Kung naalala pa natin. How many days bago tanggalin yung...
Ang dami din na naalala.
Nag-event ka agad.
Nag-event ka agad yan.
Right after mga anak.
Naalala mo ba ma'am kung ilang days bago inalis ang tahi mo sa CS mo? 7 days? Ako na yung sumagot. Pero in general, again, nag-educate ako. So in general, all surgeries in the body, the removal of sutures will be 7 days. Regardless if it's the nose, if you had a thyroid problem or thyroidectomy or CS, it's usually 7 days. Earliest is 5 days, longest is 10 days. So the average is 7 days. So 7 days, there's a little, you'll have your sutures, ganyan, may konting bruising. But after 7 days, pwede na yan, pang-rampan na yan, okay? So there's a bit of bruising pa din, a bit of swelling. This is what I tell my patient, no? So, pwede mo nang, kasi most of my patients are actually based abroad. So, kagaya kanina, yung patient ko, nag-opera pa ako, diba? Kaya 5 a.m. pa ako gising. So, my patient, umuwi siya ng Pilipinas like 10 years ago pa. So, I had the privilege of being the reason para umuwi siya ng Pilipinas. So this is the usual scenario of my clinic. So most of my patients are actually based abroad, so they will go home here just to have the surgery done. And then, so during the consultation pa lang, which is mostly online, I tell them na yung schedule. So again, pakilamera ko, maghingialam ako. So I plan with them. Day 1, this is what you need to do. Day 7, this is what you need to do. Day 8, I will allow them to go out, like have travel, meet their friends, or do whatever you need to do, but I will just tell them their limitations. Okay, so to cut the story short, it's 7 days, but on the second week onwards, there's a bit of bruising, bit of healing process, but okay na yan. I will just tell you the things that you cannot do during your first week.
Kaya pala nakapag-event pa si Bede after.
Ten pa.
Yes.
Okay na, Stanley. Any other questions pa, our friends from the vlogging community? Ayan, Jeff, Kapamilya World.
In aesthetic medicine reports, as aesthetic medicine reports, what changes would you like to see in our society and the healthcare system you evaluate these procedures, especially the cases?
I thank you. Para pang Miss Universe. Okay. Actually, my goal is for the Philippines to become known in medical tourism as well. So, yun ang goal ko. Kasi ako, I frequently travel a lot. So, my reset time is traveling, whether it's local or abroad. So, parang dun ako, I work, and I travel. Yun ang reset time ko. So, when I travel, I compare. So, ano yung mga advantages ng mga other countries when it comes to aesthetic surgery or aesthetic medicine. So my goal is for the Philippines to become a hub also for medical tourism. Not only Korea, not only our neighboring countries, but for the Philippines to be known. Kasi ibang mag-alaga yung Filipino doctors. Di ba? Known tayo as Filipino nurses who gives good care or utmost care for our patients. But yung mga Filipino doctors, hindi pa siya masyadong known. And I've seen a lot ng cases, different nationalities, different ethnicity, and they say that, Doc, you have a superb post of care, which is the one very, very important. Hindi lang yan during the surgery. The most important thing is what happens after the surgery, even months, even years after the surgery. Post of care, that's what we call it. So, alagang Filipino.
Last question po, looking back at your journey from servicing government hospitals to being a respected surgeon, what are you most proud of and what legacy do you hope to leave?
Siguro, the thing that I'm most proud of is that this girl, this petite girl right in front of you, was able to create a name without the help of just being me. Okay, because this is my personality. I'm talkative. I joke a lot. I like beauty. I like to see beauty in other people. So yung personality ko is a reflection. My business is a reflection of my personality. So parang for me, I'm just doing what I need to do and I'm just doing what I love to do. So dahil doon, nagkaroon ako ng pangalan, nagagawa ko yung gusto ko, nag-enjoy ako, nakapagpaganda ako. So I think that's my legacy and that's something I'm proud of. There are so many times that I was put into question. Sino ba yan? Parang ang liit niya naman. Literally, di ba? Very petite, very small. Parang arte-arte niya lang. But I use those hindrances to create a name for myself. And my belief is the thing that I should challenge is me, not anyone. So I need to prove something on myself. I do not need to please anyone. So after ko gawin yung mga need kong gawin, after kong pagandahin ang mga need kong pagandahin, the patient will speak for itself. So the best form of advertisement is actually not me. Sorry. But it's the patient. So the best form of advertisement is actually a walking advertisement.
Thank you, Jeff. Any other questions? So, di ba, she's the Nose Fairy. She was Doctora Love of a combined SOCMED platform operated Corina with 1.5 million views with virality. And on April 26 episode of Rated Korea, she will be a fairy godmother. And what really touches me is she will transform the life of one trans woman having experienced gender dysphoria. Kaya yun yung maganda kay Dr. Ruth. So I hope abangan niyo yung next episode for Rated Korea.
Isulat niya po sana siya. Pakiusap ko.
Yung Rated Korea. So she's also a gender affirming clinic, yung RPS. So it's very holistic. Yeah. Yes, question. Oy, pwede din kayo magtanong ng personal nito. She will entertain.
Any questions? Yes,
Doc,
sir.
siguro ask you, kasi my experience in East Avenue Medical Center wasn't
Not good.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't a pleasant one. Parang nagsaset ako ng standard siguro on what a public hospital would be, and I wouldn't wish for my enemy to be in that place. Parang ganun po. It's like a horror scene sometimes. You know, I was just in the emergency transition area that they call it, but that's where most people die, left and right. Your time in East Avenue must have been also the same. Well, not as like the person who's giving the service, but person who is in that situation, in the same place that I've been. What have you learned in that hospital, and what did you take away from that experience?
So, there's one doctor na nakachikahan ko recently. No? Sabi niya, Doc, paano mo natagalan? Imagine if you were just there for a few hours or days.
Oh, days. So.
I've been there for 5 years.
Exactly.
So, kasi ako, parang yung naging baseline ko is the difficulty, the reality of having or being in a government hospital, which is actually a DOH hospital and the referral center. When we say referral center, all of the difficult cases nandun siya. Okay, so siguro yung mga nakita mo during your terror stay in the emergency room, that's just a glimpse of the reality. It's very hard. But sabi ko nga, if you are already accustomed to this situation, when you see something that is lighter, that is easier, very easy na siya for you. So ako, I had a good training at East Avenue Medical Center. I was exposed to the realities of life. Minsan, to be honest lang, kami pa yung nagbibigay ng pera sa patient para makapagpa-opera. So, if it's hard for you as a patient, it's also very, very hard for us as a doctor. But, that's the reality. So actually, to be honest, is quite maganda na. It's quite maganda na siya than the other government hospital. But syempre, there are some room for improvement, many rooms for improvement. And then, ang goal ko as a doctor is to elevate yung condition of the patients. So, like in my case, when I was when I was in training yung tawag namin. Sometimes, para lang makapagpa-opera yung mga patient, this is a true story. I give money to the patient, ako yung nagpo-provide ng mga materials nila. Kasi it's something innate to me. Because I grew up, I was trained in a government hospital. Even my med school is in a government hospital. So, parang for me, para lang makapagpa-opera siya, kasi uwi pa siya ng probinsya at babalik, wala na naman siyang pera. Ako na lang yung magpo-provide, para lang makatapos siya, or so just that we can finish or get it done. So, what's the takeaway? Takeaways. Madami ako natutunan. Siguro the most difficult part for me, since I was a government employee in a government hospital for quite some time, is that it's a little difficult for me to shift to a private setup. So I don't know how to charge. Parang I don't have an idea of charging the patients, and it's bad for business. Parang kasi nahihiya ako mag-charge, honestly. Nahihiya ako mag-charge, parang nahihiya akong maningil. Kasi I've been doing it like innately, na manggamot, mag-opera for free, siyempre aside from meron kaming stipend from the government. Pero siguro yun yung naging transition ko. Kasi hirap na hirap ako. Parang nahihiya ako na, ay maniningil ako, ikaw na lang. Kaya I don't accept money from my, like literally now, I don't accept the money. I ask my staff to get it. But kasi for me, it's not really unethical, but it's something that I'm not used to.
Alright, thank you so much.
Thank you. Doc, just clarification, the Sculptra and Restylane are clinically administered?
Clinically administered, it should be given by your doctor. So maybe you'll see some of the clinics, I don't know where, but I'm sure sa clinic namin yan na giving or injecting this non-surgical procedure injectables done by doctors. So actually, we have a team of doctors in our clinic. We have a dermatologist, we have a plastic surgeon, we have lots of ENT and facial reconstructive surgeon to help you out with your concerns.
And these are available, Doc, in our RPS clinics?
Yes. So punta na kayo doon ngayon.
Malapit lang actually.
Malapit lang, literal na konting
Stone throw away, yung RPS Clinic Kalayaan, Quezon City.
It's
So,
it's beside the BDO.
So if you want anyone who want to go there and check, just approach one of the creatives team and we'll accompany you also after the BlogCon. Yes. Any other questions? Anything that you want to clear with Dr. Ruth?
Sige, tanong pa kayo.
Yeah, we still have a few minutes before we wrap
Parang
up.
akala ko, honestly, kakabahan ako kasi hindi naman ako nagaganto. Parang pag-press ko, nangiisip ko, Sona, mga ganyan, or si Claire, si Ate Claire. Pero madali lang pala. Sige, go. Bring it on.
Probably
Yes,
additional questions to that ako, Doc. Among the Philippine actors and actresses, who would you define as has an ideal nose?
Siguro, I like na lang, the one that I like. But it's actually not a very Filipino nose. It's most of the time it's Liza Soberano. And ito yung mga common pegs. Ito yung mga laging low, I want this, can we do this? Actually, it's trendy din eh. Kulang before, when I was starting during the pandemic, it's Catherine Bernardo and Liza Soberano. But nowadays, it's more of the younger ones. Like, for example, Sina Fiang, yun yung mga minimension nila, na mga noses, something like that.
How about the guys?
So guys, recently I've been seeing like Dustin Yu, yung before mga Piolo Pascual, mga ganyan.
I'd also like to ask you about ano ba to? Well, may mga nakikita ka na ba na botched cases sa Philippine showbiz?
Oo naman. Pero syempre, huwag natin silang pag-usapan. It's just, ganito ako. When I see you, I'm already examining you. Even ikaw, kaya ako ba't hindi ko na. So at the back of my mind, I'm already checking, ano kaya maganda sa kanya? So, that's, very good. Kidding aside, that's how I do it. Like at the back of my mind, parang maganda siyang iganto. Pero syempre, I will not tell it to you. I don't want you to get offended. But, yung mga, kunwari, if I see artists or celebrities with botched noses, actually, ano yan eh, sa amin in the medical community, sikat yan. Parang, si ganito, ganyan. So, parang nagiging chismis din siya. Parang sa inyo, di ba? Pag may mga chismis sa media and all. Pero, ako kasi, siguro I will just advise the celebrity to go back to the previous surgeon and have it fixed. If hindi magawa, tsaka na lang siya mag-consider. I've experienced that. So, I think this was in December 2022 or 3. There's one celebrity na got viral because of her nose. And then, I was in the US during that time. Okay, and then, tawag siya ng tawag. Pero ano yun, pagpapasko. Ay, sorry, katatapos lang ng Pasko. So, may hint na ako. But anyways, so she was really calling me, asking me to fix her nose. But sabi ko, nasa US po ako. And honestly, bago pa lang siyang surgery, Lord. Like, 2 weeks pa lang. So sabi ko, you have to wait. And then, let this, may mga tahi pa nga siya. So sabi ko, you have to wait for the healing process. Sabi niya, Doc, my work will be affected. Alisan ako ng project. So sabi ko, hindi talaga pwede. Kasi, mahirapan tayo sa healing process mo. She had her nose done with other doctor. I think the network helped her. And then, but it was done few months. Kaya alam ko siya kasi yung Umayos na Ilong na is also my mentor. So, lalo na yung mentor ko na yun, very, very conservative. So, months din. So, in short, when you see botched cases, hindi siya agad. Like, I want to do it now, Doc. Revise na natin. Kasi you have to let your body heal as well. And rest.
What's the most, what's the best non-surgical procedure to fix noses? And what's the surgical?
Okay, the dictum is, if we're gonna do a revision, it has to be surgical. So if I'm gonna do revision, hindi ko na i-offer sa'yo non-surgical. It has to be fixed correctly, and the only way to fix it is through surgery.
How about if it's just going to be enhanced?
Sorry?
If it's just going to be enhanced?
Enhance, yeah, a little room for improvement. Enhancement is okay. But like, for example, mayroong mga infection with the threads or fillers, yeah, surgical na talaga siya.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gia. Yes, RM.
Pero kay po, Doc, if procedure ko yung rhinoplasty, hindi po ba yung original nose o yung mas enhance po yung
Mas gusto ko syempre yung hindi masyadong mahirapan yung buhay ko. It's more of the virgin noses pa din. And honestly, it will give you the utmost pinakamagandang result. It's easier to do the virgin noses. Also, it will give you the best result because it's the baseline eh. So, pinakamadaling ayusin yung baseline.
No, may mga po ba kasi I'm a bleeder. So, yun ang medyo naging problem ko na siya. But I think I outgrew it. If that's something that, but I sometimes still bleed often. Is there some way to fix that as an ENT?
So, in any surgery, we always ask for the current medications the patient is taking because it really affects. Like if you're taking pills or blood thinners, something like that. So I have to ask that. That's one way to prevent. Number two is I give medications prior to the surgery, like 3 days prior to the surgery. If the patient mentions that, Doc, medyo mapasa ako or mabibig ako, bibigyan na kita ng gamot. So preemptive na procedures before we do the surgery so that we can prevent bleeding. Also during the surgery, we give medications and then I will inform the anesthesiologist to like control your vital signs during the surgery para hindi ka mag-bleed. And after, we also give medication. So it's actually before, during, and after that we take steps into to prevent bleeding.
And have you also experienced yung medyo maraming scarring before
Ay,
you?
madalas. So,
Okay.
ayoko na nga eh. Pikit na ako ng mata. Hindi. Honestly, it's, ako, I'm a keloid former. You see? So, I tell my patients I'm very, very relatable. I had my nose done. I'm a keloid former. But I discuss it, ano yung mga possible outcomes, what are our goals. Scar is very, very hard to treat. Not only with the nose, even the skin, diba? Yung mga acne scars, it's very hard to treat. So we have to manage conservatively. Hindi tayo pwedeng aggressive when it comes to scarring.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. And last questions, yes, RM.
Reaction na siguro comment niyo, Doc, na bakit yan, yung sa ngayon, yung mga Pilipino pa rin parang kapag nagpapa-enhance, nagpapa-ride,
Parang iffy pa din.
parang, kumbaga parang big deal siya, o kumbaga iba ayaw nila talagang nilalabas sa public.
I think nowadays, mas acceptable na because of social media. But we cannot really deny the fact that some are still conservative of the idea of having enhancement, specifically rhinoplasty. But I think the beauty of social media is that I was able to educate my patients. So my difference among other doctors is not, I do not show you lang the before and after. It's not like that. As I mentioned kanina, there's a process behind it. So, social media helped me educate my patients. Actually, kwento ko lang po. The first viral video that I have was actually, I'm discussing the complications. So, nag-viral siya. Kasi, I'm telling you the bad effects or the possible complications when you do this procedure. And in a way, parang tinatakot ko sila. And if siguro first time nila nakita ng doctor na discussing this complications, so parang they're a little bit more curious. So nowadays, you can easily read, watch the rhino videos of the patient and their journey. And then I think it's more acceptable. Actually, now it's more of a bragging rights. For example, patients now are tagging their doctor. So 2 weeks post-op done by Dr. Nose Fairy, something like that. Parang mas pinagyayabang na nila na, ito yung doctor ko, siya yung surgeon ko. So, mas may ganun na silang attitude. As to compared nung 5 years ago when I started my clinic, when I started aesthetic procedures, parang medyo tago pa. Just to give you a brief kwento, dami kong brief, no? Pero ang daldal ko. During the pandemic, mas maraming nagpa-rhinoplasty. Kung babalikan nyo, mas maraming nagpa-rhino. Doon nag-start yung mga rhinoplasty journey. Kasi, sabi ng mga tao, uy, tago naman tayo, nakamas naman tayo. So after the pandemic, magaganda na yung ilong lahat ng tao. Hindi totoo to Kaya mas naging sikat yung mga rhinoplasty surgeons. During the time ng pandemic, kasi people parang, the healing time, bahay lang ako, nakamas lang ako, walang pansin ng healing process ko, tapos nakamas for about 3 years. So, pag nakita mo yung friend mo ng 2019, tapos makita mo ulit siya ng 2023, parang ang ganda mo. Diba? So, parang hindi nila nalaman yung healing process mo. So, if you're gonna take a look, doon nag-start talaga yung journey or healing process. And during that time as well, doon naging mas advent of social media. So, sumaba yung rhinoplasty cases with the advent of social media. So, people nowadays are more parang anong tawag doon? More happy to brag about their surgeons. So, but still, lalo na in the provinces, iba yung point of view. Some are very conservative, but most are accepting.
Yes. Sagot naman ni Doc, di ba? Lahat.
How do you balance your personal life and your work?
So may tanong si ma'am, paano ka daw binabalance yung pagiging mom, wife, doctor, sister, anak? Dinadala ko sila sa clinic. Hindi totoo. In my office, sabi ito nakakatawa, sabi ng mga patients ko, Doc, parang na iba yung office mo. Kasi when I constructed my business, my baby is a baby pa, newborn. So doon ko talaga siya dinadala. That's the beauty of having your aesthetic business. So natuto siyang maglakad sa clinic. Pero ngayon na makulit na siya, pinahati ko na yung office ko. So doon na lang siya sa part na yun kasi tumatakbo na siya. So literally, I bring them to my clinic. I bring my sisters, so they're part of my admin, marketing and all. I bring my baby. Meron siyang konting sanctuary dun sa aking office. So yun yung higaan niya, dun ko siya pinapatulog and all. So I think that's my advantage as a business owner and then aesthetic doctor kasi most of my patients are clean patients, hindi yung mga, when we say clean surgery, walang mga sakit, ganyan. So I can bring my baby safely to my clinic. So bring your baby at work. And your husband.
Doc schedules for when are you available in Kalayaan, Batangas, and Pampanga?
So, honestly, matagal ko ng problem yan. Kasi wala akong fixed na schedule. Like, I don't go na Wednesday, ganito sa Pampanga ko. Kasi I adjust to the schedule of my patients. So, again, my patients are mostly based abroad. So, though ang flight ko is Wednesday, Canadian Thursday. So, I adjust. But, kaya very important for me to have a schedule prior because I need to take note of the patient's schedule and my schedule as well. Pero, mind you, I go to my clinic in Batangas and Pampanga at least once a week, but not a specific day. Mostly I'm here sa Quezon City po.
Alright. So, we're okay.
Binigyan ako ng tissue ba ko?
So siguro, in wrap up, no, so yung reflecting to Dr. Ruth's vision of an integrated care, RPS Aesthetics at the brand has evolved into a multidisciplinary one-stop shop. Binanggit niya kanina, she's a pool of doctors employing dermatologists and other surgeons to address the comprehensive beauty of wellness and concerns. And of course, partnering also with the brand itself, like Galderma, lending her name. So, to just wrap it up also, since they're here to lend support to Dr. Ruth, may we call on the business unit head of Galderma to tell us more about the partnership of RPS Aesthetics and Galderma. Please welcome Ms. Michelle De Jesus.
Hi. So, good afternoon, Nakara. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. Again, I'm Michelle. I'm the business unit head from Galderma. And we are excited to launch our injectable treatments portfolio at RPS Aesthetics. And just a background, so this is the division of in Galderma, the injectable aesthetics, wherein we offer Restylane and Sculptra treatments, and it's now available at RPS Aesthetics. So Galderma has always been a pioneer in innovation in the world of aesthetics. And same with RPS Aesthetics, whose belief is the center of patient care, which is their priority. So with the shared vision of holistic beauty, patient-centeredness, and innovation, this partnership comes alive. So, and the approach is now geared towards safety. Katulad ng sinabi ni Dr. Ruth kanina, no? Safety is the main concern of all our patients. And of course, natural beauty. So because now consumers, they don't like yung fast, and then parang risk also, and not looking natural. But with both Galderma, in Restylane and Sculptra, and the RPS Aesthetics, your patients, our consumers are assured of
having safe and natural looking results. That's why with Restylane Kiss, no, it's a filler, it's a dermal filler specifically designed for lips that balances the fullness and flexibility. So meaning you enhance the natural movement of the lips while enhancing also the fullness of the lips. And then another treatment, most sought treatment, itong common trend ngayon, skin quality. With Restylane Skin Boosters, it offers 456 days of glow. Would you believe that? So 24/7, you get that healthy, glowing skin. Why? Because of the benefits that it provides: deep hydration, it reduces your big pores. Kasi yun yung mga concerns ngayon, di ba? Big pores, it reduces acne scarring. Yun yung na-mention kanina ni Dr. Ruth. It also reduces fine lines and wrinkles. It evens skin tone and it smoothens skin texture. That's why it can really provide 456 days of glow, or literally 15 months.
Sorry ma'am, cut ko lang. May utang pa sa'yo yung next year. May utang pa sa'yo yung susunod na taon. Sige, go on.
Yes. And the most, most sought after treatment nowadays is the Sculptra treatment. You see that sa social media account ni Dr. Ruth, di ba? So that's the Sculptra treatment. So what is this? Sculptra is the original regenerative biostimulator. If your patient doesn't want the lifting, the volume, or you want the more natural results, over time, then Sculptra treatment is the right one for you because it stimulates your collagen synthesis naturally. And the action or the efficacy, it will last up to 25 months, so 2 years. So your patients or the consumers will really get the value for money. So what does it do? Sculptra treatment, it improves the skin's firmness. So yung sagging and then due to aging, it reverses time. So yung gusto mo more youthful look, then go at RPS Aesthetics and get that Sculptra treatment.
Thank you, Ma'am Mitch.
Thank you, ma'am. Doc, parting shots before we let you go to your next appointment.
So, I just want to thank you all for being here and hearing my stories, maybe personal or something about the clinic. I hope you learned something new from me today, and I hope you'll be able to share these stories that you heard, knowledge that you learned from me today. So again, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I hope to see you guys in RPS Aesthetics.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.